Hey everybody, it's your boy Zero here for another gunpla review. In today's episode, we're covering the last of my Holy Grail kits, but not the least, the Todesritter, aka the Death Knight, aka the evolved version of the Pale Rider, aka what happens when you fuse a Xeon machine and a evolved version of a Gym Custom, aka the Pale Rider. You get this really cool mobile suit, but the gunpla itself has some bugs. Gotta like how the Hades system works. Good system, a lot of bugs of it. So I got this dude off of Amazon, so good luck with that, everybody. It is a pain to get because of scalpers, you know, rarity, usual problems with buying off of Amazon sometimes. But with that being said, I absolutely love this thing, but that's a slight personal bias. So let's get into the review and talk about one of the coolest looking mobile suits and the flaws that come with it. So catch you in a second. Okay, this is a Todesritter with everything that comes in box. This ridiculously huge sticker sheet, because it's designed for both the Hades activated system, which all the pieces I took out, minusing the shield, which is the same colors. So all the gold lined ones, for the most part, basically everything I took out would be the ones used for the Hades system. Everything else is for the non-activated mode, so if you want both versions of it, you're going to need two models. So you will have to give up an arm and a leg. That includes the piece right here if you want to do the regular version of the visor. Two types of beam effects. This one for the giant beam saber on the back, and this one for the regular beam sabers, where I'll show you where they are in a second. Wires for the funnels. You get two of those, which you can snip up with a pair of nippers to get to the size you want. So yeah, that, and one effect base, well, that action base adapter. As you can see, I have one beam saber in his hand and one of the extra ones on the back. One flaw I do have with this, and this is just a personal gripe, that you can't turn these arms, so they can only go up and down, which is kind of sad because it looks like it's in that fist shaking meme, which is kind of hilarious. So if you want the beam facing one direction, you actually have to literally turn it around. So that's kind of annoying. Oop. So let's talk about the flaw here, because it's slowly demonstrating it. It is very difficult to stand up under its own weight. It has and will fall backwards on you. This thing has dropped so many times before I moved it onto the desk here. It was ridiculous. I was always afraid to wake up to it fall completely over and on the ground. It shattered into a million pieces, requiring glue to repair this thing. Speaking of which, the horn, or the command antenna, or whatever you want to call it, that needs to be glued in. I tried everywhere I could think of to get it to stay in without gluing it. It will not stay in without glue, so you're going to need to glue that thing in. It is a pain. As you can see, I'm trying to keep it upwards without it falling backwards on itself, but it decided to go no to that. So yeah, it will fall backwards on you. The backpack is, I guess you can call it the wings, and the funnels, the back parts of the funnels, I also recommend gluing, because when this falls, these will pop off on you. Just shatter and disappear. I am so lucky I keep finding these pieces again, because I'm living constant terror of them falling off on you. Ugh, it is a pain. So yeah, these parts need to be glued into the smaller base ones. The smaller base parts stay in. They're tight, and that's great. But the little bladed parts, they need to be glued in. The arms that connected to the backpack, they too pop. They are very easily popped out. So they are loose, but you don't need to glue them. You just have to be careful with it. You don't get really a lot of articulation with the head due to the size of the ball joint. You get a little bit, not a great amount. And that's pretty much the worst aspects of the Todesritter. As far as I'm concerned, minusing the insane amount of stickers that need to be used on it. And I use the proper term, insane. But I get it. It's a system, it's a transformable mobile suit or a color changing mobile suit, and you can't really mimic that properly as a gunpla, so you have to give a lot of stickers to balance it out. I get it, I understand, it's ridiculous though. Also, the shield doesn't stay in doesn't stay in tightly, so you have to be careful while moving the shield or adjusting it. With that being said, okay, let's get into the cool stuff. Again, I do love the sub arms, the little crab claw, so as you can see, this is what it looks like out and about. You have to open it here. Forget the little crab claw to agree with me. There you go. And you can put this piece into there by lining up the peg. Let's show it. Because the same peg is yeah, so it turns out there's a lot more loose pieces than you think, and it's quite annoying. There we go. There's a lot of loose pieces, so you will be annoyed by this, because Lord knows I can be. So the little peg has to go into this tiny piece right here. And then the large beam effect goes into here. Like so. So you do have a giant beam saber you can go with. It's very similar to the beam effects of, I think, the Double Zeta Gundam. Or at least its full armor version. Because that can double as both a beam saber and a beam whip cannon. But in this case, these are just beam sabers. And to close up, you just simply fold in the hand, place it back in like so. And thus you have the shoulder piece back to normal. We have only one pair of hands. It's a basic sandwich system. Close up hands, pop them out, pop up the back, switch the weapon back in. The beam saber does not require that. You can just slide that in, which is really convenient. Speaking of which, the beam sabers are actually located in both forearms, which are pretty cool, but kind of ridiculous in the sense that there is no cover for them. So if someone cuts off the arm, you lose the beam saber. So, I mean, you can technically do it as a surprise weapon. I don't know if you can actually just activate the beam saber from it not being in the arm, but if you can do it while it's in the arm, I mean, that's a useful weapon. Surprise blade weapon. Assassin's Creed style. So, which is always awesome. So, let's go on the articulation. Oh, and here's, like I said, the shield is pretty flaky at best. So, let's just remove it to get it out of the way. And take the beam saber out. And pop the beam out. And there's no special way to plug this in, so you just place it in like so. And there you go. And let's remove this beam of saber. Pop, as you can see, quite easy. Unplug. Close up. Press in. Inside, and then place that back in. Oop, overshot. Ta-da. Okay. That's the arm fully bent. Not bad. You move the side armor right here in the arm. You get, that's as far as the arm goes outwards. So not great, not bad. Move the side skirt so it gets out of the way. Leg all the way up. Goes to the size of the armor on the knee, which is a bit of a pain. Then that's the knee bend all the way. Paralyzed back skirt. That's as far as it goes backwards. Okay, ab crunch, but if you do too much, it could pop out of the waist. And as you see, it's very back heavy, so you gotta be careful how posing it. And like I stated before, the head doesn't really bend because of the gap between the chest and you get that. That's as far as it goes left, right, up, down. You're not gonna get a lot of posability in the neck. But let's get a good zoom in on the eyes. I do love the eyes. I'm sorry, it just looks really cool. And yes, the horn is a little bit bent from all the falling. And yes, the armor from the leg does go up and down. As you can see, there and there. Left and right up. All the way up and all the way down. So, you do get okay posability out of this. If you can get it to stand up on its own weight. I do recommend if you want to use the funnels, get an action base or modify an action base if you have to get it have the funnels go out and all that. If you want to do the action poses with the funnels, get a strong action base to support all the extra weight of the backpack. But let's just wrap up this review and head to the summary. Okay, the Todesritter. Let's get my personal bias out now. I love this thing, despite all its flaws, the over reliance on stickers, the fact that it's back heavy, the fact that it, the gun is just two pieces of plastic squished together. Again, the over reliance on sticker, the fact that it's kind of wobbly. Ignoring all those, I love this thing because I love the Pale Rider. Anything connected to the Pale Rider looks cool to me. So I'm going to have a slight bias towards this. With that being said, this requires glue and a lot of patience. Or if you have a steadier hand than me, paint. A lot of paint. If you don't want to use the absurdly high amount of stickers to make it either in the regular form or the Hades form, you're going to need a paint to fix that. Or you're going to need glue to fix the wonkiness of it, and you're going to need glue to fix the pieces that won't stay in, namely the horn and part of the funnels. But I do love this thing because it is a unique design, and I really do wish the other horsemen, aka the Red Rider, the White Rider, and the Black Rider, got evolved forms like the Pale Rider did to become the Todesritter. I want to see the War Knight, the Famine Knight, the Pestilence Knight. Because we have the Death Knight, so we might as well have the other three. That would be cool. Those you can leave as Bandai Premiums. You should have made the other ones regular, but it made this version and the regular and the other Knights, the other Riders, regular releases and not Bandai Premium, but Bandai is going to do what Bandai does. Nothing I can do about it at this point, other than vent every episode when I do a Holy Grail kit, which two of them were Bandai Premium. See where I'm going with that? But enough of my completely justified anger. I want to thank all of you for watching and enjoying my small mini-series of Monday being Holy Grail kits. Back to our regular schedule Gunpla. Next week may be different. I'm getting the Super Gundam tomorrow at the time of recording, so the day this episode goes up. So there's that. I may do that, or I may do the Durabaldi from Mercury, because like I said, when I was sitting getting it, the look grew on me. Like, I didn't think I would enjoy the look of it, but it just kind of grew on me, and now I kind of love it. Then I will get to the gun cannon. I'm sorry I've been putting it off, but there have been so many cool looking Gundams. And the Holy Grail kits came in, I got distracted, and I'm like, I have to get this. And like, I have to build these. So, and I may go back to getting into reviewing the rest of the Celestial Being Gundams, because I do have I do have Seven Swords, I do have Ixiar I have to review, I got a bunch of stuff I gotta go through. So that'll probably be on Friday. I haven't decided what I'm going to review on Friday. Monday is, I have no idea, and yeah. But also, on Saturday, if you're on by Bethany Church on Long Island, you know, you can come meet me as I sell my books. So, that being said, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on Friday with a new episode. And, yeah, catch you guys later. Peace.